All right, everybody, welcome to the show. I've got a good one lined up for you today. I've got Brian here from Utherverse, and we are going to go through it, an actual metaverse project that looks like it really does have everything needed to be one of the best performing metaverse projects in the space. We also have a lot of really great crypto news that we're going to go over after the interview. Thank you for joining us. Brian, how are you, man?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How about you?
Oh man, I'm really excited to have a conversation with you about this. So let's dive right in. So it's
Sure.
Utherverse, is that correct? Utherverse? I just want to make sure I
Well,
say it right.
okay, so I pronounce it Otherverse, but there has
Okay.
been debate for 20 years about how it is pronounced. So
Okay.
Utherverse, Utherverse, and Otherverse are all the variants that people are the main variants that people use. I use Otherverse.
I'll use Otherverse
That's how
then
I
for this.
intended it.
Let's
Okay.
do it. All right, let's go how it's intended. So,
All right.
Otherverse has been a pioneer in the metaverse space since 2005. What inspires you to evolve the platform into this new version, and what sets Otherverse in 2024 apart from other metaverses out here in the space?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, how long you got? So, um, back in 2003 or so, people that have followed me know my history. I won't go into that because that's quite a long thing. But back in around really just after the stock market crash in 2000, when my other internet properties, went through some trying times, my late business partner and I sat down and we said, we built Web One. It was my company and my innovations, and really laid the foundation for the commercial web. And then we built Web Two. We did, you can look at the patents that I received on all of the social media and algorithms and how all of that works. We said, we want to stop incrementally building now. Let's look at where the internet is going to end up, and then plot the course from here to there and just do it. So we spent a good year or so figuring out that really it was going to be a fully immersive web. That what we were calling the flat web, the two-dimensional web, would become a tool inside a Web3 immersive environment that would all be about digital goods, digital services, digital currencies. We hadn't come up with the idea of cryptography for it, but we did lay out, the foundations of NFTs that we were, just referencing as virtual goods, virtual services. We introduced a virtual currency that was a centralized virtual currency. I mean, got to hand it to Satoshi. I mean, brilliant leap on that. But we were trying to do it. And we developed proof of concept back in 2005. We launched it. It worked. People were very receptive. Then we said, okay, well, now we learned a lot. We need to build from the ground up again. And we did a second version. And that second version is still operating now, almost 20 years later as Utherverse Classic. It's had millions and millions of users. It's done billions of dollars of commerce in digital goods, digital services, and whatnot. And that's really what we were calling the virtual world web is now what people call metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
So after many years of developing on version 2, we said, okay, version 2 has gone about as far as it can go, and it's starting to become obsolete. The foundation is becoming obsolete. Now we want to obsolete proof the metaverse and really have it take its rightful place as the next layer of the internet.
Okay.
And we started to work on a third generation that we called Curio, and then Curio ran into some problems. It became too big. And now our fourth generation is what we're working on now. It's Utherverse Xeon. It is in public beta, and it is really designed exactly to take all the best features of the internet, hyperlinking, the best features of Web3, decentralization, autonomous control, and mobile, virtual reality, and package them all together into that next layer of the internet. And that's really what separates us is this idea. First of all, you've got a new browser, the Xeon browser, and that allows you to browse to any metaverse that is compatible. Excuse me 1 second. Can't take phone calls while I'm being interviewed. This browser allows users to just as easily as use a web browser, open tabs, browse to different flat websites, and browse to different metaverses that are using our compatible technology stack. We built the protocols, we built the architecture layer for the new generation of the internet. It's designed really to improve things like phishing attacks or scams and spam, all of these things much improved. So this is a massive undertaking, as you can imagine. I did
like it
really well at the beginning of the internet. I mean, my company, like I say, pioneered the commercial web. So I poured tens of millions of dollars into this project over the years and continue to, recruit the best people in the space. My team is the most expert, but with the browser, this allows people to create their own user experience, their own user interfaces, their own avatars. So, we've got a proof of concept, our flagship Utherverse metaverse, but you'd be able to do things like, the Simpsons metaverse or a World of Warcraft metaverse or, an anime metaverse. You don't need to stick with our avatars where we use the UMA pipeline for, which is the Unity pipeline for assets, basically. So anybody who can create in Unity can bring in their own avatars, can bring in their own assets, and all of this. That's the ultimate design. Obviously, it's not quite there yet, but it is in public beta, so you can see where we are already.
So I have a lot of questions for you to go through here. So, back in 2021, right, I interviewed several projects, maybe a dozen projects that were all trying to have a breakthrough in the metaverse. And one by one, those projects ended up failing and not delivering on the promises that they said that they were going to deliver. So what makes Utherverse different? What makes you different from everybody that came before you saying that we're going to build the next evolution of the metaverse, and everyone that's failed before you? How have you been able to succeed where others have failed?
So building a metaverse, really what I call the virtual world web, is very complicated. And in my last answer, I really gave you the broad strokes of what it takes to be successful. We have a flagship metaverse. It's designed, I found this in our second generation software, Utherverse Classic, that we really needed to show by example, use our own tools to build. And then once things have proven to be successful and attract users, then we release those tools for users to compete, for users to do it, and then we move on to the next stage. So we've got this all roadmapped because we've done it multiple times before. Every time we've done, with the exception of Curio, every time we've done it before, it has been hugely successful, well received. I'll give you some trade secrets. We're the only metaverse company really that has been able to succeed every time, as I say, with that one exception. But you learn from failure. I learned more from that than I did from the successes, honestly.
Sure, of course.
You do not want to sell land in a metaverse. That's just a money grab. I can manufacture an infinite amount of land. The real value of real estate in a metaverse is population density. In order for a metaverse to be successful, it needs to be a social tool. So you need to have, it's not like visiting a website where, Amazon can run if there's nobody there, if it's just me, or if there's millions of people on the site. But in a metaverse, if it's just me, I've got nobody to talk to, I've got nobody to interact with. There's no reason for it really to be an immersive environment. So you don't want to spread people out across 1 million acres of virtual real estate. You want to spread them out in 5 different regions where the population is dense. Now, we've got more than 85 patents that we've been granted in the United States for various ways of increasing the population density, allowing for millions of users to be in the exact same region, just dimensionalized. We do things like we dimensionalize a region based on language or based on demographics. So, it doesn't help to have 100 people in a region if you're all speaking a different language. I want everybody to be able to understand me and me to be able to understand them. So there's lots of little bells and whistles that we've learned from all of this experience. But, that's a key to making a metaverse successful. Another key is it can't be event driven. meaning I've got a concert, I bring in 10 million people, and then they all leave because there's nothing to do. There have to be many things. We have an events calendar. Things are always happening 24 hours a day. Karaoke, movie screenings, comedy clubs, a dance party, a DJ. And you go, well, what do I want to do? It's not, is there something to do? It's where are the most people? What, do I want to meet anybody? You also have to have a Web 2 component. So there's social media and there's social connections offline when I don't want to go into the metaverse as an avatar. And I want to maintain friendships, or I want to plan events, or I want to, dress my character or do shopping. Like, you have to have all of these pieces together. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so complicated that it doesn't surprise me that all of these other metaverse projects end up failing. You really need to understand and have this all roadmapped out. And it's really, it's a combination of trade secret stuff, stuff that we've learned over the years, the patented technologies that we've got, and the team that I've got. And then I would say the final and most important piece is community. You need to have mm-hmm. a community that is positive, uplifting. You have to start that from the beginning with the social mores that, we don't want rude, obnoxious people coming in. You don't fit in the community. So please, either shape up or find somewhere else. And mm-hmm. once the community is positive and uplifting, then people feel welcomed. They're not embarrassed. Like, I don't know how to do this or whatever. They can ask. Sure. We've got a whole volunteer structure where people help integrate you into the community, introduce you to friends, tell you how to navigate. All of those pieces. I know that's a very lengthy, complicated answer to a simple question.
It's okay. I appreciate it.
I could go on and on, but
it's good. Let's tackle some of the technology stuff. So the integration of Web3 and AI in Utherverse is a major focus when I look through the white paper and all the information. Can you explain how these technologies enhance user experiences compared to traditional virtual worlds?
AI is a huge new component, and it
mm-hmm.
is, its native resting place is going to be in metaverse. So you should know, I don't know if many people know this, but I wrote a pioneering novel, very well received back about 16 years ago or so, called The Minerva Virus. It's available on Amazon, and the Minerva Virus is a flagship novel about artificial intelligence and the evolution of artificial intelligence. It's a high-tech fiction story. It's a thriller. So I've had my eye on artificial intelligence, as you can imagine, from the beginning, watching it, and always intending to integrate it when it became useful into metaverse. So I can give examples, and I think people will understand from examples really how this plays. You can imagine conventions and conferences are a beautiful native feature of metaverse. Instead of having a conference where a convention, let's say, everybody has to fly to Las Vegas, get hotel rooms, the company basically has to shut down for a week. You got to spend $1 million on booth construction and all of that. You spend $500, you have a similar booth inside a metaverse, and instead of attracting only those people that can go to Vegas, you're attracting people from all over the world. So mm-hmm. we've had very successful conventions throughout the history of the platform. One of the issues with going to a convention, of course, is you get overwhelmed. There's so many leads to follow up on, and so much stuff gets lost. It sounds so great. You have all these discussions with people, and then, like, if you get 1 in 10 of the deals that you to ink from a convention, you're doing pretty well. Mm-hmm. But if everybody's got their AI agent, it can record, the conversations. It can give you, which were the important ones. Can you follow up? The AI agents can communicate to each other. It can give you, a new business model based on all of the different booths and conversations and whatnot that you've had. So, as an AI agent, it's a small example. We've got an AI bartender, and it is going out and it's reading everybody's social profiles that are in the party. if it's activated, right? And so you walk in and you go up to the bartender, and the bartender says, "Oh, hey, Brian, there's a couple of people over here. They've got, they were just talking about the novel you wrote. They have an interest in the Yankees, and they're talking about the game. Let me introduce you," right? And so as a social agent, as a wingman, I like to call it like Cyrano de Bergerac. I don't really know exactly what I want to say here. I'm a little tongue-tied in chat. Well, hey, they have an interest in this. Why don't you ask them about that? And it can be an icebreaker and start the socialization. You just don't get that in the real world. Is why I say it's so good as a native tool within the metaverse. My favorite one, we haven't implemented this, but I really am anxious to do it, is the closet manager. So I want to buy all of my clothes through metaverse, and I get a digital twin sent to me in the real world, and then the AI agent, I can say, I'm meeting this group of people. Can you dress me? And it knows the clothes that I have in my real world closet. I could try them on as an avatar, right? And it says, well, you wore that shirt the last time you met them. I don't remember that, but
Wow.
you haven't worn this shirt in 6 months. Why don't you pull this one out? It goes with this, dress me. Thank you. Right. So we're going to get all these benefits from artificial intelligence that you're not really going to get in the real world unless it's connected to metaverse.
How, I can imagine that, digitizing or bringing your, all of your clothes, your maybe your cars, the things that you care about in the real world onto the metaverse. And that's got to be costly, right? It's got to be, is it expensive? Like, what is the process? How long does it take to digitize and bring into the metaverse all of my cool personal belongings? Talk to us about some of the finer details that happens with that.
There are a bunch of different ways to do that. And like everything, the cost comes down, and it will continue to come down. When I first was digitizing for totally photorealistic people, the cost was like $5,000 to digitize. You have a camera array. It's like 230 HD cameras, taken from every angle. But then you create really cool holograms, right? That go into the virtual world. These days, really, like with AI assist, I don't know, some of the stuff is crazy. You take a picture of the front and the back, and you run it through the AI agent, and it generates like a CAD model, or like a usable model that you could just import through the UMA pipeline. So I think we're going to see, like, if you want, it really depends on the quality. Some of the things don't really matter. I mean, you're not going to be displaying, every pore on the skin necessarily, right? So you don't need to zoom in that much. So it's gonna be a range, but really, I've been so blown away by the way that costs have come down for things like motion capture. We're now starting to integrate. I mean, it's going to be a little while still, but with the camera, with your webcam, for you to be able to animate your avatar in real time. And it used to take a whole camera array, and post-production to get the animations to work properly without all of these artifacts. And now, I mean, you're doing it from a webcam, certainly to animate the face and talking, or a musician when they're singing, to be able to do that, and then your dance moves. So I don't think we're really talking about something that's too expensive, but certainly moving forward, as this technology becomes more prevalent, of course, more people jump into the space. We have all the startups, and they all start to compete, and then it becomes basically free. You're just searching for, how do I bring this into the metaverse for free? And there'll be somebody that'll do it just so they can show you an ad or something.
So tell us this, Brian, like how in your belief, how far do you think your metaverse is compared to the rest of the market, right? Do you think you have the best technology on the market? Do you think you're one of the best? I mean, where do you consider yourself currently?
Here's how I look at it. I got my start on the internet back in the early mid 90s. Okay. And there were basically no commercial websites at the time. I would say none, because I introduced the first banner ads to the internet. And that was a monumental undertaking. I know people think, oh, it's just adding a graphic with a link, but it was a whole thing. I lament that I wasn't a couple of years earlier, because I would have fundamentally done the internet differently. And there is only one internet. When I got started, there were multiple, right? You had AOL, you had CompuServe, you had these walled gardens, and you had the internet. And because the internet was open and the Mosaic browser, democratized websites, and suddenly, bam, AOL, CompuServe, all of these other sort of walled garden intranets disappear, and it's one internet.
Mhm.
That's where we are. That is our technology stack, the protocols, the architecture that we've. When people see what we've got, when they go into the public beta, they're going to see the very, very tip. I like to say it's like we've designed the phone and we built the operating system, and that's what you don't see. And what you're seeing are the very first apps that we're putting out in beta, but you don't see the decades of work. And that's where the patented technology comes in. It's like, so we have built fundamentally differently than any other metaverse company. Google couldn't do it. They tried and they failed with
Facebook.
Google Lively, Facebook, right? Because they didn't re-architect the protocol system. So there will be only one virtual world web metaverse. It's a new layer of the internet. I mean, that's the distinction, and everybody will connect to it, and that's the beauty, because we're not saying it's just us. We're not saying here's what the avatars look like, here's how the user interface needs to work. You could build a game and you could connect it with other games. For the first time, you'll be able to say, well, in my game, I've got agreements with other games. If you earn a sword here, you could take it across to this other platform where it turns into a lightsaber. And because we've got an agreement. Or you make a magic potion in my game, and it works in this other game, and then it works in this other game, and you have a whole internet of games. This is the new kind of immersive web that we've conceptualized and reduced to practice now. We're still at the very beginning of building the apps. I think the apps are impressive. Some of them are a little glitchy. They won't be by January, as we move into 0.4 beta. We've got another year before, I would say, third parties are really coming in and building what we call Utherverse sovereigns, although our first sovereign is planning to launch in January, February timeframe. But Utherverse sovereigns, where you're in really complete control over the physics and the look and the is it a game, is it a what are you doing with it, and all of this involves like access control layers. So for example, you can't jump from the nude beach to church, right? The church there's an access control layer between the two that says, no, you have to be wearing our clothing or using our avatar. So I don't want a dinosaur at church, and I don't want a dinosaur at the nude beach, honestly, right? So like all of these things that you don't, and that's where I say the protocol layer, right? You don't need to do that with a website. I'm not popping from let's say Pornhub to Amazon, and if nobody, who cares, right? But in a metaverse and in a virtual environment, you really do care. So you kind of need to do things.
Help me understand.
And that's why. Yeah, sorry.
How far are we away from like the real meta, like everything that you're seeing and talking about? Like realistically, how do we get 1 billion people in the metaverse? Is that possible over the next 5-10 years? Is
for sure,
because
for sure.
I know when we've seen previous people talk about having concerts in the metaverse and the things that you were talking about earlier, that has kind of failed miserably. So how far are we away realistically on the technology? And is that going to be your technology that really pioneers the metaverse for the world?
I'm 100% confident. Yes, it will be our technology. And we're going to have millions and millions of people in there in 2025. No doubt there will be hundreds of thousands of people all the time. And by 2026, so, I like to tell this story about MySpace, just to date myself. I never heard of MySpace, and here I am, one of the pioneers of the commercial web, right? Never heard of MySpace. And then a friend of mine sends me something saying, oh, come visit my profile on MySpace. I don't even understand what you're talking about. And then a couple of days later, a couple more friends, and then I see it on Jay Leno, and then I see it on everywhere. 2 weeks later, MySpace goes from, obscurity to hundreds of millions of users.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I believe, is what we're going to see, that type of reaction where it's just almost instantaneous adoption once there becomes the real necessary use case. Consumer Electronics Show shows up in our with their own sovereign and on our platform, and and we've got these. I had an event. If we just couldn't make it in time for middle of January, we were going to have an event that was going to have hundreds of millions of people in January. We do not have the infrastructure yet to handle hundreds of millions of people, so I had to decline.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you're going to see. You're going to see multiple events. I mean, let's just think about political leaders that need to communicate, that want to communicate, and keep people motivated without having to travel to 50 states and multiple places in all the states just to get legislation passed. How do you do that? You can connect with hundreds of millions of people simultaneously in a metaverse, town halls, these types of things. There's so many use cases for metaverse that it's just waiting for us to take the stuff that we've largely already built, polish it, activate it. And that's going to happen largely in 2025, and then it will be completed by and large in 2026. And we're going to see, I mean, it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be like, trying to remember a time before, food delivery. Like, what did I used to cook? What did I used to eat before they could deliver food?
Yeah.
What was the web like before there was metaverse? I hardly even remember it. It was just those flat web pages. It's going to be like that. Click and billions of people.
Walk me through this. So how do you get immersed into the metaverse? Is this like do I need a headset? Right? Is there going to be some type of technology that I need to buy from you to be able to get into, like, how does this all supposed to work?
Right. So the beauty is that it's just like the internet. It's the screen agnostic is the plan. So there will be things that you want to do while you're on the subway on your phone, interacting with metaverse. Now, you're not going to get an immersive experience that way, but if I'm a shopkeep and I've got a customer and I want to interact with them, bam, their avatar, my avatar, my store, here's the stuff, take a look at it. I want to buy some clothes, address my avatar, go through whatnot. Better is on a computer screen or on a tablet, and then you start to get more immersive, and you say, well, for day-to-day navigation of virtual world web, it's likely by and large going to be on a computer screen. It's more comfortable until VR headsets are ubiquitous and really comfortable. But for really high-end experiences, I want to go to a concert. It's got this full-on acid trip vibe and the pyrotechnics, and I really want to be there as if I'm live and in a show that melts my brain. I'm going to be in a VR headset. I won't want to do that all the time, but the idea is for the highest fidelity, you're going to want a VR headset. I've seen it. It is mind-blowing already in a VR headset. The problem with VR headset is just the user interface and a little bit of tweaking so that it functions more natively. And so that's all staged out this year. You're gonna access it with a VR headset if you want, but really I expect that people will start off primarily accessing it on a computer with low fidelity access on a mobile, and then the highest fidelity on VR headsets. And this is all designed to move us forward to, we've got patents in areas that I call adaptics, where, you could be fully immersed, and it's not like a haptics suit where, you're just feeling impact. This is now, it's like the holodeck. I can feel things, I can be affected by things, and you can look at those adaptics patents that we've got. So we've really got this staged out for the next 25 years. As crazy as that sounds, we've got development 25 years out.
How do you guys make money? Like, what's the plan for Utherverse to get paid? Right, you have a team of pretty incredible engineers and designers. How do you pay everybody?
Yeah, so my real motivation ultimately is I want to create an environment that brings humans back to our fundamental human nature that can be friendly and positive and helpful and uplifting. We're all one big tribe, because my concern is extinction of the human race happens if there isn't enough love in the world. And this is where we are now. And that's my biggest concern. But of course, in order to do that, it helps if not only we get paid, but everybody that participates. The internet expanded commerce in a way that created so much efficiency that it created a lot of wealth. Now, this wealth didn't go to average people necessarily, although it did a lot of benefit. The next generation really has to be a global phenomenon that lifts anybody who wants to participate out of poverty. But in order to do that, of course, we need to make money also. So, we make money in a bunch of different ways. If you want to open a sovereign, you're not buying land, but you are buying a domain name from us on our new protocols. So you're going to be getting a domain name. We are authoritative for search. So, if you want to find something that's happening, we have all the data for search, and therefore, we can. Searching a metaverse is totally different than searching the web. So we'll be the only company that's offering search at this point, and then we will license that out to companies and get royalties and residuals. The primary way that we make money is it's kind of like a freemium model. You can participate in the metaverse for free. There's lots of stuff that you can do for free. But then, in order to have multiple accounts, in order to be able to upgrade your wardrobe in a more extensive way, $20 a month for the VIP. We make money when users generate content and they put it up for sale. So, we have this whole cottage industries of like clothing designers and people that decorate, we call it decorating, but who create your virtual space, your virtual business. They create the props and whatnot. They put that up for sale in our stores, our catalogs, and we take a commission when those are sold. And it's all sold using our
technology,
cryptocurrency, of course. But we take a commission. So there's lots and lots of proven revenue models that we've worked out already.
I love that. Let's talk about the node technology and your other X chain that you are building out, designing. Where are we at with all of those gems? Because I know there's a lot of people in my community that like nodes and are interested in supporting blockchains. Talk to us about where the technology is and how much nodes will be if you have that information.
Yeah, so we are right now actively working on, I think that's some of the phone calls I was getting actually were in regards to the nodes. This is something which is going to probably start to become public in around March. There's a lot of stuff there are a lot of improvements that I would like to make generally to the layer one stuff that's out there. We're going to start as a layer 2 and with nodes, and then we're going to upgrade this all to our own layer 1 ultimately, because there are features that are necessary in order to operate metaverse properly that require us to do things that have not been done on blockchain before. But the intermediate step is going to be node sales and operating nodes. All I can say on it really is that it is on the timeline, and we're in discussions right now to figure out exactly the technology that we're going to deploy. But
it's on the roadmap then. Nothing's official.
It's short-term roadmap, next few months, and we're going to be prepared to really go into it.
Okay. Awesome, man. Yeah. When you get closer to having that information, I know the community is really interested. Did we lose you?
No, just grabbing some water.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought I lost you there. Is it too forward of me to ask you to show us what this metaverse looks like? Is it possible for you to take us in?
Like live right now?
I mean, yeah. Is it possible you can show us, or is that not? I don't know. I always like to ask for things like that if it's possible.
So I would love to do that, but it's on my other computer.
All good. No
Um,
worries. No worries. I know this was not expected, but I just wanted to see if you
but
could show us.
here's what I suggest, really, because the videos that we put out, I've complained about this. I'm having my developers fix this so that we can take video properly. When you take video inside the current beta, you're videoing what we call LOD2 and lower avatars. And what that LOD stands for, level of detail. So all of the videos looked, in my mind, like, okay, people do not understand that these are photorealistic avatars. I mean, for the avatars, you really can zoom in and see pores on the skin, and you can see like hair follicles. That's how detailed they are. But it doesn't come off in the videos, because the videos are designed to take like, low fidelity. Finally, it occurred to me, like, why is it that when my developer is actually shooting video for me, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this is great, I share it. And then when my professional videographer goes into video events, it's like, oh, this isn't what it really looks like. I highly recommend that people just download the software. One of the things which is on the roadmap here, by the way, the software right now, the browser comes prepackaged with a huge amount of stuff that is going to be removed from it in short order, so that it'll all be done by web calls. That video right there, the closet demo, that was done by my developer. That's the one up at the top here.
This one?
And the third one over, that's the one.
Do you want to play this?
Sure, that's what it actually looks like.
I'm gonna just mute this for a second. That way you can talk over this if you want.
Right. And the first part is like not. This was. It's when she gets into the closet.
Okay, let's go to the closet.
Yeah.
This is the closet.
Yeah. And you'll start to see like the fidelity of the clothing, the fidelity of the room there. You'll see her face when it zooms in and does close up, if you want to play it. And she changes outfits and whatnot.
It's playing slowly.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Totes.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. And I mean, you see the makeup and the different makeups become like VIP, right? If you want that kind of feature, but you can see fashion shows. I mean, already fashion brands, that we've got in queue. So many things are going to come out over the course of 2025. I'm really excited.
Is this it?
Finally,
Brian, is this like
yeah. That's
looks pretty cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it really is. There's nothing else that competes with it in terms of the quality of the avatars, the photorealism. I mean, if you zoomed in on her face right there, this part of it is not. This part of it was done.
I got you.
In our old system, but
okay.
The woman in the closet is really my favorite part, like because that is legit, actual footage from inside the world. And so I would love to have people download the software themselves. It's a fairly large download right now. It's going to become much smaller in the next few months. Well, maybe 4 or 5 months out before we go into a public release. Right now in beta, we just packaged all the assets inside one download.
Brian, walk me through where would I download this? Like so we're on where do I go?
Okay, so if you go to the front page, just click on the Utherverse logo in the upper left. And by the way, there will be a brand new front page live tomorrow. And once the front page is live tomorrow, it's, because we have a new version coming out, the new front page is just going to be like, download, join Utherverse.
No worries. So people can go here and download this for free. Yeah. Just get a download. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And
well, talk to us about partnerships, right? I'd imagine that there are people talking with you, companies, corporations that are interested in being a part of this. Is there any beans that you can spill about possible partnerships or something maybe that we would know, like some kind of big company or corporation that is interested in working with you guys, or is that kind of still hush hush?
Um, for sure, there are. It
Okay.
ranges. I mean, of course, there's lots of small, medium-sized companies, and then there's big companies, and then there's enormous companies.
Okay.
The problem with dealing with the enormous companies, right? I mean, I won't give you some names, but we
Yeah.
have an open door to certain global telecommunications companies.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with those global telcos that have really been pressuring me is they want us to stop building for VR headsets. They want us to stop building for computers and focus on mobile. The
Mm.
amount of money is obscene, but I've been pushing back and saying, look, we will do that in due course, but I want to follow my roadmap first, because
Got it.
this is going to be a ground up, like the same way I've done it in the past. People need to have a reason to go, and they want to love the reason to go with, and I don't want to handicap myself by having the lowest fidelity option as being the
Yeah,
one that we push out first.
I understand that.
Um, yeah. Then there are very large companies, and what can I say about that? Let's just say some of the biggest casinos in Vegas. And again, it creates a little bit of an issue because I don't want to launch out with gambling. I
Mm-hmm.
want to launch out, when it's proper to do a sovereign for gambling. So those conversations have pivoted more now to, we'll just do all of your entertainment. There's so many things that a casino can do, and they're receptive to it. So I'll have announcements coming out soon.
Okay.
But I want to just replicate your entire casino so that you can have check-in, you can have people booking reservations, and they can see the room, they can see where they're going to be staying, they can walk around the room and say, oh, I want to upgrade to a suite or whatever. But more important than that, I mean, we have cruise ships for that too, right? Like,
Oh my
come
God, cruise
orient yourself
ships.
on the cruise ship.
Okay.
But more important for the Vegas casino that we're in late stage negotiations with is, well, let's just do all of your events. Like, you have lots of great musicians and comedians, and so let's do that, and we could sell tickets, or anybody who's stayed or is a member of your priority, they can attend in the metaverse before we actually activate gambling. Which, by the way, gambling in the metaverse is going to blow everything away when it's done properly, because you're going to be sitting in a slot machine, and great, I won, and it rings, but just like in a real casino, everybody's going to start walking around because they'll be able to see that you won, not just you on your screen,
Uh-huh.
playing by yourself, lonely, or sitting at a blackjack table where you're all playing against the dealer, or going at a craps table where you're all rooting for the shooter, right? It's a huge enhancement. And then there's large companies, and I'm going to have an announcement. I'm supposed to meet with one in January to see about inking the deal,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can actually make the announcement.
Okay.
But and then there's other announcements that are going to come out with a lot of other Web3 projects, and those are I'm going to start doing those regularly. We're going to start announcing. So yes, lots and lots of stuff coming down the pipeline.
So there, right now there's going to be people that are listening to this that are like, hey, this is really cool, right? I want to be able to participate in this ecosystem. Like, so right now, if somebody wants to participate, they can download the software and start kind of setting up their character. But they can also purchase the token, right? So talk to us about, the token. What is the current benefit of somebody buying the token now instead of maybe waiting till next year? Is there staking?
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about the tokenomics and the token.
Okay. So the first thing that I really need to get out there is trading on the token is currently suspended. We're issuing a replacement token
Okay.
because we caught a I'll call it a hack. It wasn't a successful hack, but we caught an issue, and we stopped trading.
Sure.
We're going to have a new smart contract through the audit, and the replacement token is going to come out I want to say Thursday, if the stars align, Friday, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday.
Okay.
So the current UTHX token that you see on the website, on the exchange, you'll see on the website, there's a note like
Don't
contract
buy
is
it.
right. Don't buy it.
Got it. Okay.
There will be value to it, but don't buy it.
Okay.
I'm not going to kill the UTHX token, but ultimately next week, I would say go and buy the new token for sure.
Okay.
The value of this token is it powers everything involved on the metaverse platform.
Okay.
Now, if you've got a token, if you've got a project, you can bring that in. You can open your own sovereign. You can use that token within your sovereign, of course. But if people want to upgrade to VIP, they're going to be using our token. If people want to pay for their domain name, they want to pay for search, they want to buy clothing, any system interactions, those are all going to be powered by our token. So the token is, and we've done this before, of course, in our prior generation software. It was a centralized token called Raise, and it's done tens of billions of dollars of transactions. So I really, really understand how to manage a metaverse economy and add value to the token. The tokenomics here are really radically improved even from the tokenomics of Raise. And they're designed really with the same type of value as Bitcoin. So Bitcoin derives its value from being the feature of money, which is store of value. But Bitcoin isn't a huge improvement on medium of exchange at this point. Our token is designed to capture that medium of exchange attribute of money. And so in the end, Bitcoin and let's say UTHX, or the new version of UTHX, will capture all of the features of money when you combine them. Okay. The tokenomics, I like to talk about social hash rate, where Bitcoin has a computer hash rate. The more computers that join the Bitcoin network, the stronger the network gets, and that's why there's a halving. That's why there's a halving, but that's why there's a new block every 10 minutes to incentivize computers to join the network. And we do the same thing in our tokenomics, incentivizing people to join our network. And as you can imagine, if there's just one person, there's no reason to transact. Once you have two people, one person might need something from the other. A third person, it grows logarithmically, exponentially. You add a fourth, you add a fifth. So each new person we add is like adding a new node. It's like adding hash rate. And so the tokenomics have been designed really to incentivize new users to come into the community. And that's really another secret weapon that we have in terms of like, how do we get growth where other metaverses have failed? All of our tokenomics are designed to reward people for joining, for downloading the software, for using the software, airdrops, and for bringing new people in. And so it's, using all of these different marketing techniques, but paying people for their participation, sure. That's going to, make people happy.
Is this on Ethereum? Where's the
Solana.
Token going to be? Solana. Okay. And so if somebody has the current version of the token, they're going to be airdropped the next version of the token when you guys launch that? Okay.
Yes. Right. And I expect, as I say, airdrops, I keep getting updates on it, and everything is looking good. So, sure. If somebody has the current token, hold on to it. Don't do anything. We took a snapshot, and you'll get an airdrop as of the snapshot, and then we're going to blow this thing up, because currently the token is not used in commerce on our beta, and that's really the magic. Right now, before we've turned on the in-world economy, the token is just trading, at a baseline level, or was trading at a baseline level, 35 cents or so a token. When we turn on the economy, I'll just give you one example of how I'm going to manage this token so that the value continues to go up. I told you VIP is $20 a month, everybody that can afford it ends up buying VIP. I mean, just historically, I could tell you, nobody uses the metaverse without upgrading. You can either be gifted it or you buy it yourself. Everybody becomes VIP. Well, if the token, let's say, is trading at $1 and we're selling VIP at $20, I'm going to say, or 15 UTHX. So why wouldn't you go buy the 15 UTHX? Why would you pay $20 when you can pay $15 and have the UTHX? Well, that will naturally create demand for the token, which will bring it up to 20, which will bring it up to $1.25. And then I'll say, well, now it's 10 UTHX. And now it's 5 UTHX to get VIP, right? So I can constantly be giving a discount if you use UTHX, which creates more demand for the token. The token price goes up in a perpetual, infinite money loop for token holders. And we've got many, many things like that designed in the tokenomics to really, support the token and continue. Now, it won't be a straight line up. Nothing ever is, right? But
sure, it's going to take some time.
These plans right now, before commerce is activated, is a window of opportunity. We should be activating commerce in January, and that's where we'll start to see real utility demand for the token, and the price is going to reflect it.
So we've kind of gone through kind of the general information. We talked about the technology. We talked about nodes and the other X chain or Uther X chain. We talked about AI and the integration, the technology. We kind of demoed it. Is there anything I've missed here? What else is there to discuss? Do you think? I don't know what I don't know about the project. So is there anything we've left out?
Right. We did a pretty good job. I mean, really what I want to, the messaging that I want to give is that the opportunity, once a person understands the evolution of the internet and that it has gone through iterations where it has these major leaps forward, starting with like Usenet, even before there were web browsers. And then you have the first web browser, you go, bam, the internet has taken this quantum leap forward. And then social media was really, a next quantum leap forward where it went from, one-way communication from a website to the person, and suddenly it's two-way communication. This is the next quantum leap forward. This is going to be a massive paradigm change in how humans interact. And that means influencers. It means like a whole new wave of, we will be disrupting and obsoleting many of the existing paradigms. And so just, I remember the early days on the web, and I'm sitting here trying to raise money for my first internet company. Nobody was giving money to anything internet back then. And I had a discussion with a venture capital firm, and this comment that stuck with me forever is, why would a plumber ever use the internet? You can't fix pipes over wires. I said, well, why does a plumber use a phone book? Well, why wouldn't they just continue to use a phone book? They're not going to put a website together. I don't know any plumber that doesn't have a website. I don't know anybody that does any business that doesn't have a website. So, I get the same kind of, right, this is going to be the same kind of disruption. Getting in early, even if you don't know why, it's a good way to get your feet wet, figure it out. And then the community, building the community, we're going to have the early adopters are going to become these massive industry megaliths, and even though I can't predict all the directions it's going to go, I can say I recommend for people really to follow the project and to watch it and participate if you can, because opportunities are going to start come fast and furious, and the first people to grab them are going to have the first mover advantage. So I guess that's my parting message.
I appreciate it, Brian. I mean, thank you for helping us better understand the future of the metaverse. I know many have come before you and have failed. It seems like you are on a path to possibly being very successful. So we wish you the best. Thank you for enlightening us.
Thank you.
And, we'll be here to support you along the way. And when you get closer to making some of these updates, please come back and let us know what they are. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that. And thank you. Thanks for letting me share this with all of your community.
All right, Brian, you take care, man. It's great to see you.
All right. Bitcoin.
Yeah. Bye. Take care. All right, guys, that the future of the metaverse. Who would have thought? All right, I do have another special guest, and we'll get into the news. So I want to bring on John from Crypto Lids because a lot of you have been asking me about what's going on with Hire, what's going on with Crypto Lids. John, you are currently muted, but let's go ahead and get you unmuted. There you go. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Hey man, I'm really good. So I'm so glad you were able to join us. Sorry for the wait there. I just needed to finish up with Brian. Now that we're done talking with the metaverse, tell us about what's going on with Hire, man.
Yeah.
And why should we be excited about that, man? Because I know some big things are coming. Lay it on me, big Papa.
It's hard to not be as excited as Brian was. I mean,
Yep.
it's the future of the metaverse. But no,
Yeah.
it's been a long road, longer than I think we anticipated for elements of the Hire project and the way it works with crypto lids. But we're days away from the first big actual announcement from the main retailer. And then we have announced our connection with Zoomies. They gave us the okay. The other retailer that we're working with, DGN brand, I'm bringing public. They have us on a really strict NDA. And the main reason is that particular chain, they've got 700 stores also. They're doing a full restructure top to bottom. So they're taking their they're taking their brand that's gotten kind of stale at retail, and they're taking it back to the roots. The roots of that brand and that retail chain were very much, more on the street side, more on the urban side, had a strong skate influence and, so on and so forth. So DGen fit really well with them, but that's going to be a big one. I would anticipate I don't need to say anticipate. I know that the purchase orders over the course of the first year will be over 13 million on the minimum. So we've got the first purchase order already and have started, putting merchandise out to them. They asked for a delay in October in terms of all of the companies, because there's 5 or 6 of us that are part of this rebranding and going back to the core roots. They asked all of us to push to January. They had already sent us an order, so we fulfilled it and sent it, but it's not going to go live in their physical stores until January, which is great and fine. But they had a really poor sell-through in October, and they wanted to, because they got to clear out some of their old inventory in order to make room for the new stuff. So that was fine. We're happy with it because it's, again, a multi-million-dollar contract. The Zoomies one, we go into Zoomies live in spring. Okay. We've already started the production on their stuff. We will probably see they've got 60-day terms on their purchase order. So the end of that 60-day terms lands somewhere in February on that first order that's shipping to them. And then we'll be in stores physically in spring. But, that one's very healthy also. I mean, we're looking at between $6 and $8 million on those orders alone. So, and that the cool and the unique thing about the Zoomies one is it's higher branded merch. So it's actually, not like DGen where we're doing Crypto Lids is doing a rev share with them. They're going to get a chunk of it. We're licensing the brand from them, taking it to retail, and so on and so forth. With Hire, it's 100% ours. So all of that revenue comes in and we get to divvy it up. But yeah, so that's kind of the nuts and bolts of what's been happening on that side of things. Okay. But some of the excitement is we have another brand that we just locked in over the weekend with Box Lunch. So that's and in addition to that, we've been doing merch for GameStop through our parent company. So it's not necessarily Hire in that regard, but we're bringing that money back into Web3 in the form of Hire. So what we kind of did was, and really just to give you a quick backstory, last January, we ran into an issue where our Google Ads account got suspended. And they said indefinitely. We petitioned, and it took us almost a year to get the account access back. It was a nightmare. All because we had set up a token gate on the checkout page. So, we wanted to offer the Vaporfy community the ability to use their Stratosphere membership. When you went to pay, it brought it up, and if you had that NFT in your wallet, you got a discount. But they viewed it as predatory financial phishing is what they told us. So we lost our account with Google Ads, and that caused a huge dent in our revenue. And this is the very first month actually that we're back to the numbers that we were in December of last year, which is just lunacy. But that kind of put me in the position to start to tap into my industry, which is the action sports industry. That's where I come from. I've been running motocross companies, skate companies, BMX companies, surf companies and, even some paintball for years and years and years, on the manufacturing side and as in the branding side. So I was like, well, let me just go tap into some of these arenas. And that's where the concept of bringing Web3 brands outside and, to the Web2 world. And uniquely, the original idea was with DGen was to bring it in and offer, some sort of NFT airdrop that people were eligible for when they buy the merch. They kind of tabled that a little bit just because, they felt there was going to be some education that needed to take place on a staffing level for their retail, which is cool. I mean, we get it, and it saved us a lot of headaches with the DGen team because we're looking at their QR click-through rate at that store is somewhere around, they typically see between 500 and 1 million click-throughs when they place a QR inside of their retail. So we're like, oh crap, that could be potentially 1 million NFTs that need to be ready to be minted. We had a hard time with Ava Labs getting them on board with helping out with some of the gas functions and whatnot, in regards to the NFT airdrop side. But they pinned it. We're going to drop that back in somewhere in May to July. They want to bring it in and start to introduce that side of it. But the idea of bringing, this new demographic to their stores was something they were really interested in. Yeah. And then, as you know, and I know, the DGen community as a whole, not the brand, but DGen as a whole in crypto, they got a lot of similarities to kind of the counterculture of the surf skate, motocross world. There's definitely some degeneracy in all of those characters as well. So it lent well from a marketing standpoint. But we've seen some renewed interest as it kind of got a little bit stale there. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, some people looked at it like, well, the price hasn't moved much, but the liquidity stayed the same. People weren't selling it; they were just holding for the long. But that gets boring for people, from the higher investment side, your community and other communities alike. But we've seen some of the ads starting to roll out now. Not a lot. There was one that was kind of the week after Thanksgiving that rolled out in the action sports world. And that trudged up some renewed interest, and we're kind of still in the same spot with higher in terms of right around a $300,000 market cap, sitting on about $100,000 in liquidity, which is a pretty good ratio. For LP, 36,000 is in the Apex lock over on the Apex platform, so it's wrapped and then locked and being staked over there, and then the rest is through the variety of different LPs that we have set up here.
Where do you want to take the higher tokens? Like, what is the goal for?
So that's a great question. So a great question. So kind of what we're eventually going to work towards is building a layer one where all avenues of the retail, outside retail, physical products that we sell will have the opportunity to come in and deploy on that, and we'll be able to use the higher token as a utility. Now, that's a little bit down the road, but the main goal right now is to continue building these liquidity partnerships up with the variety of projects we have. So, we've, of course, and I think you and Henry have even talked about it a couple of times. Henry's my son, by the way. He was the founder of CryptoLids. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges with that in terms of how we roll in this revenue and buy tokens. We already have been working to regain as much control of the supply as possible, so we can kind of control things in terms of when we put this revenue. We put $15,000 in October and watched it just go cheap right away. So that's the challenge, right? So
I think you had a lot of people that were like, they were holding for a while. It went from, like 700K kind of down. I think people were looking to exit, but like I haven't sold one token. I've been holding since like, I think it was Henry. He sent me a message saying that you guys were launching a token. I just wanted to support you guys early. So I think it was like 8K I bought in, and so I've been holding the whole time.
Still up, no.
Oh yeah, I'm still up. I'm still up. I think it's worth
I get it, because you're looking at what the reality is we're getting there. It's a little bit more challenging when you're working with the Web2 world, which is but we finally have found a really interesting way to add liquidity without to offset some of that cheating. And I can't explain it. I'm told he's more of the token guy. But basically we can put liquidity in, and we can set thresholds using the V2 model on let's just say, I know that Solana has it also, but Trader Joe. So we can set it up to where we have a threshold on the bottom end where it will convert the avalanche, or it'll purchase the avalanche. So say this would be a perfect example. Say we have the pair with Hefe, and the Hefe token just starts tanking the team rugged or whatever the problem is. They ghost it out. We have it set up to where we can actually protect against that from wiping us out.
Oh, that's good.
And it has to be monitored. There's some market making involved, and it's not market making for your kind of traditional thought process of market making where you're trying to drive the price up. It's more to protect it from slamming down, so we can kind of build some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh boy. Anyways, just to protect us a little bit from seeing those mass drops. But it's going to take a little bit of finessing as we do it, because we're doing it across. And that's another problem we have, is where people will log in and go, oh, this only has $30,000 in liquidity, and it's like, well, that's just the one. That's the avalanche pair, So
that's the hard part when you have so many tokens and so many different pairs across the tokens, right? Like when you're looking at some, degenerate traders, I mean, people that are trading, meme style tokens, right? Because low market caps, they, liquidity is a vital part of getting in and out of something. And so, I think in the future, if you guys could focus on building up like one or two pairs really nicely so people can trade in and out of it, I think it could be very valuable to the community.
I think that, and that's kind of what will almost naturally happen. I think naturally the avalanche pair with higher will always be the highest, just like it is. Actually, the fold pair is the highest right now. The Lab 91 community's got somewhere around 40,000 in liquidity with us and with them. They do a lot of merch, so it's easy to add a lot to that. But it shouldn't be that way. It should be the avalanche pair should be the most in theory. And then the same thing with Solana. The Solana, liquidity should be in that primary pair also. But regardless, as that money comes in, there will definitely be an equation that we stick to, and we'll go, okay, this percentage is going to go to no chill, this percent, at least on the higher side. Any merchandise that's sold in those projects, and part of the example is higher or not, Lab 91 and the Fold token, they sell a lot of merch. So a lot of money is constantly getting put into that liquidity, you know? And so it surpassed the Avalanche one, because the Avalanche one doesn't have a merch component attached to it. It's just higher merch. When we sell higher merch, we divide it up, and we'll put, usually we'll put about 60% of it into that pair, and then the rest would get divvied out amongst the other liquidity pairs that we have created. But I think we're going to see the true test of the concept here between now and the 15th of January, as we get the opportunity to really start pumping money in. And then I think the exciting part will be to see these, because we've sponsored a whole slew, just to kind of jump back to the Web2 side of it. We've with the marketing agency, we've sponsored a bunch of athletes in that industry. And so kind of the point I was making earlier to the similarities between the crypto degen bro guy, the whole crypto Twitter community. And I would say you guys are kind of a little bit further from that, because your crowd is oftentimes a little bit more refined, well thought through, and a little more, you guys take your time doing research. I would say there's some it's a classier community.
Thank you.
If you will.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah,
he's
really
hired.
Is,
he's hired. All right.
So, but the degen side, the really, the dudes that just ape into things without, no regard. The guys who are pulling their 401ks out, they have a lot of similarities to that community. So we're going after them pretty aggressively, and in a way that it's targeting a demographic that is desperate for ways to monetize, desperate for ways to make money. These are all young people who are looking to find a way to make money, being an Instagram influencer. And those are the target demographic for getting into crypto, this side of Web3 anyway.
Sure.
It'll be our job to take and educate them about, self-custody, owning their crypto truly, not just having it on some centralized exchange. We're gonna use the opportunity to do real education with them, and use these athletes we sponsored to teach them about, what percentage of their portfolio should be in these really, Bitcoins and avalanches and XRPs, and what level of risk they're going to have versus what level you want to risk over here with potential higher reward. So that part will come with it. But the athletes that we've got going are all in the final stages of their education process. So they've been airdropped degen token, they've been airdropped higher token, they've been airdropped all of the actual pairs, we've given them some. So, No Chill and the others, and a lot less of those because those communities aren't really involved in this side of it. It's mostly just DGen and higher athletes that are being sponsored. But what they're going to do, and these are people who have 100, 200, 300,000, one guy's got over 1 million followers just on his Instagram and TikTok. I mean, these are very influential within their space people.
Sure.
Those guys, when they pull their phone out in the middle of a reel and they just did some trick or whatever, and they roll over and they sit down and they pull it up and they're like, oh, my portfolio's up, check it out. That's where we're going to try and grab them and rein them in. And it's exciting, right?
I'd love to see like a 30 or 40 million dollar higher price, because that would mean I have multi-millions of dollars and higher. So that's what I'm hoping for.
I think that it's a very, very strong reality at this point. For a few reasons. One, the revenue coming in alone, when you start to put it into token buys, will drive it up to a much, much higher market cap. But I think we'll see an excitement in the crypto community when they start to realize that this is reaching further than anybody else has ever really reached out, in a way that no one else has ever really done it. And it's frustrating not getting much help from like the DGen Labs team or not the DGen Labs team. I'm sorry, the AVEX team.
Yeah. What's
it's really
up with that, man? Like what's wrong? Like, doesn't AVEX want to be, Solana or XRP community, right? Like, what are they doing? Like, who was I talking to? I was talking with Brian from oh god, what is his project? The phone project, Phoenix X. Man, I can't even think of it. What is his name, dude?
Gosh.
Finovant, Biofi.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
They left AVAX because, they wanted to go to Binance because they felt there was more liquidity. But like, where's the support from Ava Labs? Like, who do we got to talk to at Ava Labs for this?
And Binance offered to have that right in the phone, from the second you buy it, you already got Binance app in there, and I don't understand it. I mean, I had several phone conversations with the Avalanche core team for the wallet, and then several conversations and they were gung-ho at one point, and then I think everything shifted to this AVAX 9000 movement, which, okay, I'm definitely glad AVAX 9000 launched. It's great to see the gas prices drop to next to nothing. That's huge. And it really will help facilitate, growth within the blockchain. They also lowered dramatically the cost of a validator node, and to get your own layer one is much, much cheaper now. So those are great things, but to shift every aspect of your business around to just focus on that. Yeah. Meanwhile, you've got us who under an NDA with them, have revealed to them, the customers, the contracts, all of the things that we're offering, showing 2 separate retail chains in the United States and around the world with over 700 stores, and the purchase orders that go along with them. That's massive. And it's also a demographic they want over creating new wallets, and so I don't know. I wish I could say I knew what was going on there, but it is what it is. And we're getting some great, the Solana Foundation. Wow. Polar opposite. I mean, absolutely. The polar opposite. We don't even have the merch partner we had lined up for Solana was Moonsters, and we now have Sage Universe. Sage Universe is launched, but we haven't finished their store. So their store is getting wrapped up. We'll launch, and then that will be the first actual Solana chain connection. So we expect to see, because they have a relatively large community, and Sage is well known within their community space. Moonsters is also well known because of Soul Saver and the space that he runs. He runs 2 spaces every day of the year. Every single Christmas, Thanksgiving, he never misses 2 spaces every day of the year. And so he's got a massive audience, massive following, and a great project that he's been developing for 2 years with them. I mean, the NFTs, they're a 404 NFT on Solana, absolutely incredible. They're all animated. They're just, there's no other NFT I've seen that looks as good as theirs. So I'm excited to see it come, but it's been very slow. So we kind of got set back a little bit, and that was the reason we launched it prior to was so that we had it in place when it dropped. That was something he asked us to do, and it was a little bit rushed. But I get the question a lot, and I actually get the question from Henry and the times that I've gone into your Discord about why we didn't just do one token to cover all.
That's my question.
It's a great question. I get it, but there is a really specific reason. The main reason boiled down to the fact that the blockchains don't always play well together. So what I mean by that is when we have merchandise revenue coming in from Solana stores, they don't want to see revenue from that share going over to Avalanche. and neither does the Avalanche community.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. I think that Web3 is Web3, and we all need to learn to play together better, and we could have been a catalyst for making that happen. However, we talked to a lot of people about it prior to, and everybody really unanimously, and at the time, Ava Labs unanimously made it like, hey, don't do that because we'll be a lot less interested. And so, and we were at the time being told we were getting the Culture Fund, a chunk of money from the Culture Catalyst, which they still say is coming and happening. I don't even care anymore. I don't. We just can't wait for people like that.
Just, Ava Labs, do better, man. Do better. Like you have customers here saying that you need to do better. You need to do better. So
absolutely, it's so frustrating. So that's the main reason why we decided to do multiple blockchains.
I get it.
The other thing too that kind of went along with it was, still to this day, we have people within our community who come in and they're like, well, I'm not at all exposed to the Solana go higher, and I've never done Solana, but I want to get some because it's still such a low market cap, and I'd love to be a part of that as it inevitably is going to go up as well. So then their next question is I've never bridged there. I don't know how to get money there. Where do I buy when I'm on there? And you realize how separated these communities are.
Mm-hmm.
They're really just so disenfranchised from one another. For me, somebody who's been in blockchain since 2011, I don't have a problem navigating from Binance to a Phantom wallet, jumping over to you name it. I mean, I'm all over the place on all different blockchains. But some people genuinely are very organic and grass-fed in their one community, and they've never gone outside of it. So it's a challenge, and that token has definitely suffered because of the delays, but we've now have a very, very large percentage over the token in terms of control, which has helped us because we've just been buying all the way along. So that'll be a fun one to see, especially since the higher merchandise that's going, the actual branded higher merchandise going into Zoomies, and it's going into Huntington Surf and Sport, which is a huge chain in Southern California, and a few others that are going out there that aren't massive worldwide, but Huntington Surf and Sport is a massive chain within Southern California. Or a store in Southern California. Huntington Beach, Main Street, across from the pier, and they just do massive volume. So it'll be exciting to see that brand in there. The only difference between the higher merchandise you find on crypto lids versus the merch that's going to stores, it won't have the cash tag on it. We're going to have a few items with the dollar sign before higher, but most of the stuff will just say higher without the cash tag. So, but the tags will all have links and connections straight to Web3, and we'll show people. And we've kind of been kicking around the idea of doing NFC chip tags woven into them, so people can hold their phone to it, and it'll take them to the website, and they can learn more. But we'll see. We'll see on that, because an added cost that we're not sure will really equate to return on investment and or the click through that we want. So,
all right. Well, John, I'm going to keep holding, man. It's your responsibility to make me $1 million in the bull market. Okay. So
no pressure.
I get to it, man. Whatever we got to do.
It's been hard. And especially for me, I mean, I've been exposed to Web3 now as on this side of it for a little over a year. Crypto is 2 years old in January. And I came in March after he had launched it, and he had like two $30,000 sale months. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is just too big, too fast. I get it. Okay, cool. No problem. And I was retiring from my other business, and I was like, okay, cool. No biggie. And it's what better thing to do than to get to work with your kid. But Hire was his brainchild, and that threw me into a side of it that I wasn't necessarily ready for. But it's interesting because I feel like we're going to do something in the space that's going to make waves. And the second these things actually start dropping and people see this token going up and steadily going up, we're going to see the actual degens, the ones from Web3, just start aping in. And then that'll send you into the next level of stratosphere. I can't imagine not hitting 300,000, I just, or 300 million, you know what I mean? I just can't imagine it.
300, you know how much money I would have if you hit $300 million market cap? I'd have $30 million is how much money I would have from like a $2,500 investment. So do it, man. Go out and do it. John, hey, listen,
we're doing it.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for shedding some light. I know there was a lot of questions from the community. I hope this helps answer some. I will direct all community members to this chat that we've had. Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, you've been in business for 2 years, and you and your son, man, have multi-million-dollar contracts. I mean, you guys are doing something right. The companies you are working with are are big, man. And so
Yeah.
hopefully that leads you to more business. And hey, it's up to you to make me multimillionaire. All right. So I'm counting on you, John. Don't let me down, man.
No worries, brother. I got you.
All right, dude.
All right, man.
Thanks for being here, brother. I appreciate you. Bye, dude. All right, let's get to the news, guys. Thank you for being so patient. I needed to get John to up here to talk to us about what's going on. All right. You guys in the comment section, can I say, hold on, before we get into this, you guys stop making me laugh, man. Like I was trying to keep it, and you guys kept saying shit. All right. Well, thank you for getting me through that. Okay, so listen, RL-USD is a stable coin. Paying $10,000 for 100 RL-USD, this was obviously a mistake. But somebody did it. So I don't know what y'all are thinking out here. Listen, Trump confirms Bitcoin reserve plans, $15 trillion price boom predicted for Bitcoin. Really cool, fun stuff. Here is Bitcoin Policy Institute drafts executive order for strategic Bitcoin reserve. I don't want to read it. I'm too tired. Excuse my French. You also have some stuff going down. European MP gives pro-Bitcoin speech at the European Parliament, calling for their own strategic Bitcoin reserve. Can I ask you guys a question? Like $1 million Bitcoin, what will that do to the rest of the market, right? Like, it's going to be pretty insane. All right, let me play this. Is this in English? I hope it's in English. Hold on. Okay, it's not in English, so I don't have to play it. Great. All right, let's keep it going. So next time someone says MicroStrategy is a Ponzi, play them this Thug Life mic drop from Michael Saylor. Let me play. It's 36 seconds.
Who say, well, it's a Ponzi scheme because every time Bitcoin goes up, you issue more equity and debt to buy more Bitcoin. It just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, just like developers in Manhattan, every time Manhattan real estate goes up in value, they issue more debt to develop more real estate. That's why your buildings are so tall in New York City. It's been going on for 350 years. I would call it an economy.
All right, I'm going to get a freaking strike from that. All right, let's keep going. Bank of America, interested in buying Bitcoin? I'm going to play this. I'm right back.
The flow show from Bank of America. You have the largest 4-week inflow ever into crypto assets. We can hit that because you keep buying Bitcoin, and you did it again as we would show Bitcoin again, because we got to 100K, we kissed it, and we came back a little bit, and we're hovering right below.
Right, which is not unusual. So I'm in my office in Chicago, and I see the news of who Trump appointed for the SEC.
Yeah, crypto-friendly person.
Exactly. So it was trading below, I think it was at 97,000 at the time, immediately bought some more and said, this is going to be the catalyst to get it through 100. It was going to get through 100 anyway. Now, yesterday we saw a 5% correction. It's not unusual when you go through these psychological points that are resistance to fall back behind it. But I now think 100 is going to be support, and that we will keep going once the administration's actually in.
Well, some of the commentary yesterday was, if I recall it correctly, overdone but not over. Right. Yeah, that might have been Wolf research that said overdone but not over. Then you had other calls of saying, well, yeah, they agree with Weiss. 100,000. Okay. Ante up. Give me 250.
Man, was that good timing. Look at that. I'm a pro. All right. We also have Bitcoin's current token distribution. Fun stuff. Look how much Bitcoin's lost. 17% of Bitcoin is lost. That's crazy business. You also have Dan Moorhead has a huge position in Solana, Tron, and Ondo. Not going to play that. CEO of Crypto.com met with President Trump. That's pretty crazy. And also we have the Pudgy Penguin drop and connection today. I'm going to play that here in just a second. Here you go. This was the video that they played to launch it yesterday. To launch today. Okay, this launched today and it went up high. It went up high. Let me just show you this real quick. Pengu. Here is the market cap for Pengu. This thing went up to $6.8 billion market cap today. all the people that bought all the way up here, you lost a ton of money today. Congratulations on that. Kind of crazy for that launch. All right. I'm just kind of scanning through some of this stuff, guys. I do apologize. Let me just scan through this. I don't really care about that. Don't care about this. Let's get to some XRP stuff. Okay, here, XRP stuff. All right. Yeah, Pengu launched ridiculous market cap. Yeah, it is a pretty ridiculous market cap. But what are you going to do? People like crazy shit. RL-USD comes to uphold tomorrow. Obviously, this was yesterday. It's today, so it's here. I don't know. Somebody bought Pegu market cap 14 trillion. I don't understand how the market cap went to 14 trillion. This must have been like, I don't know, man. This person lost a ton of money though. They swapped $10,000 worth of Rapstol for $5 worth of Pengu. I don't understand that, but people got wrecked today. XRP is currently sitting at $2.54. All right. We didn't go anywhere today. That's a lot of fun. So Binance has increased its XRP holdings by over 1.8 billion. Top DeFi token. Oh, this is an ad. I'm not going to read that, but man, Binance is buying more XRP. Ripple stablecoin RL-USD being discussed on Fox Business. This is actually pretty juicy. Let me play this.
Ripple, a new stablecoin backed by the US dollar, now available to trade. Would you use Ripple to pay for things?
It's not going to do much for retail, and it likely won't be integrated into the payment economy for some time, if ever. At first, it might be best.
If ever? Do we need to get some smarter people? I mean, hold on a second. Let me play it, and then I'll tell you why this lady is just doesn't know what she's talking about. Hold on.
For facilitating cross-border payments. Think institutional support, since it is a stable coin. It has a one-to-one backing with the US dollar that allows it to essentially bridge the gap between digital asset and traditional finance. It could be seen as attractive to banks and businesses involved in cross-border payments and remittances. It allows for a faster settlement time. I was talking to Eleanor Terrett. She knows everything crypto here at Fox Business. She says if you look at Ripple's advisory board, you have big wigs on there like the former FDIC chair, Sheila Bair. So they're looking to add legitimacy to it.
Mike, I just don't see cryptos as a medium of exchange. You know, we're not going to buy and sell things with crypto.
We've talked about
it. We're not going to buy and sell things with crypto. Listen, they should definitely have some younger people on Fox explaining crypto to the older people, right? Crypto is the future of the financial system. So to say we're not going to use it in any way, shape, or form to buy stuff, man, does anybody watch Fox News? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you watch Fox? I know people like my dad, who's 76, watch Fox, but like realistically, I know a lot of you are much younger than that. Isn't that so weird? My dad's calling me. I just brought him up, and like that is so strange. That is so strange. I have to call him back.
For years that Bitcoin would be used that way. It hasn't as of yet.
Isn't that strange? I just said him, and then like I got a call by him. That's freaking crazy business. So realistically, ladies and gentlemen, banks and financial institutions that use Ripple, right? Ripple currently in their current infrastructure were using USDT, right? When banks needed to send value from bank to bank and they didn't want to use XRP and they wanted to use a stable coin, Ripple was using USDT. Now that Ripple has RL-USD, that will be used in those certain situations where banks need to use a stable coin. Okay. What Fox doesn't know or is not telling you, which could be both, is that money in the real world, right? Paper money in your wallet, you open your wallet, you probably have some cash in there. Eventually, that cash won't exist, right? Over the next maybe decade or 2 decades, cash will be phased out. Cash from the real world, once it's phased out, they will mint digital cash instead, okay? Central banks all around the world, okay, will launch. Wholesale central banks will launch first. Then you will get retail. Retail is something that me and you will use when we go into businesses to buy stuff with crypto, right? That's the definition. Stable coins are crypto. Okay. So if you go into a business and you use your stable coins, your dollar stable coins to buy a pack of gum, you're using crypto, right? This is what I don't like about Fox News. It's why I don't watch Fox News, but hey, I know a lot of some of you do. They just need to have, they should have Eleanor Terrett on to explain to them maybe more about this, because it's painful to listen to people that are crypto illiterate to talk about the future of crypto. All right. I think this is the same guy who said that Bitcoin would never go up. You know, similar types of people say the same stuff, right? So just in, the New York Stock Exchange announces Ripple RL-USD stablecoin launch. New York Stock Exchange, that's pretty juicy.
News too. In fact, today, Ripple's new stablecoin will officially start trading. The token is supported by U.S. dollar deposits, short-term U.S. government treasuries, and other cash equivalents. Ripple received the final go-ahead to debut the token by the New York Department of Financial Services last week. Well, joining me now with more is Aurelie Barthier, Principal Research Analyst at Nansen. Aurelie, thank you so much for joining. Big news, of course, that we've been following in the crypto world, and most recently with Ripple announcing that it will be trading its newest stable coin, Ripple USD. Why now?
It's a great timing for many companies, not only purely crypto, because we are bound to have some clarity on stablecoin regulation. And the motto of this administration will be sort of traditional financial companies and crypto companies getting together in a clear regulatory framework.
So with Ripple getting into the stablecoin market, competing with the likes of Tether and USDC, do you think it was a smart move?
It's true, it's a very competitive space. And the advantages of Ripple is it already has a series of partners, banks, remittance companies, mostly out of the US, not so much in the US. It has established technology, which is cheap and fast. So there are some competitive advantage, but it's true it will be very competitive field.
We've seen Bitcoin surge, topping $107,000 a token just yesterday. What does this mean for the industry and the momentum behind it?
All right, I'm not going to play that. All right, let's keep going. XRP, 1 trillion market cap. Is that possible? I mean, it's inevitability at this point, right? You already have 50 billion, $140 billion market cap, and you don't even have utility really shining through. It's all speculation. You know, let me just play this.
What XRP is able to do in its parabolic moments is like Mario said. In 2017, it did 70,000% gains in 240 days. In 2021, mid-SEC lawsuit, it still did a 10x from local bottoms. Well, here we are getting very similar momentum. We had the largest green monthly candle in history on XRP this November. I want our listeners to keep that in mind. $100 billion flooded into the project within a single month. We've never seen anything like that before for XRP. And I think the reason is under the next administration, companies like XRP are going to have a strategic advantage. And so I'd like to open it up, Johnny. What do you think? If there is the possibility of XRP reaching $1 trillion, is that something you're seriously considering? Last thing I think our listeners should be aware of, if we're going to pass Ethereum at its current market cap, we have to reach $7.50 for XRP. If we're going to pass Bitcoin at its current market cap of $95,000, we have to reach $18 XRP.
All right. Super great information. Thank you so much. Of course, MoonPay is one of the places that you're going to be able to get RL-USD. You can actually go to MoonPay to get some more information. And I found this too. I want to play it.
Everything that's wrong with XRP in 1 minute. Ripple created XRP in 2012 to make cross-border payments fast and cheap. The idea was instead of banks having to park money in different countries around the world for transfers, they'd now be able to keep all that money home and use XRP instead. Bank A in the US would exchange dollars for XRP, send them within seconds to Bank B in Europe, where they'd exchange the XRP back into euros. Simple and efficient, but that meant no one would hold XRP for more than a few seconds, meaning demand would never be higher than supply. In other words, price can't go up, except from hype. At the time, stablecoins did not exist, so their idea was a good one, but today stablecoins can do the same job with much lower risk and higher efficiency. Second, the company behind XRP, Ripple Labs, held most of the supply and sold on the open market to you. This helped them with funding, which is questionable. Third, Ripple announced plans to IPO, which shocked many XRP holders who mistakenly thought the token was a proxy to Ripple's success. Overall, Ripple set out to solve an important problem in a questionable way. After all, crypto was meant to replace the banks. Maybe XRP was misunderstood, but the facts are clear. It is not a good investment in its current form, and price has confirmed it over the past 6 years.
Damn, look at the FUD coming out of the woodworks. You gotta love the FUD, man. I really do appreciate it. All right. Also, we're talking about a few meme coins. Meku, we called this in Kryptonaires at like 400K, went to like 3 million. It's on a dip right now. It is talking about the first AI and the XRP ledger. I still think that this is something that could really go. I think this is one of the meme coins that could go pretty high. So I'm still holding on to Meku. Of course, I'm still holding on to Phoenix. Did anybody join the Phoenix ride with me? Did anybody get into Phoenix when I talked about it around $1 million market cap? If you did, you'd be up some pretty juicy numbers right now. Let's just take a look here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at Phoenix real quickly and see where we are at. Man, Phoenix is sitting at 14.9 million, but it has a high here. This is a high of maybe like 16 million-ish. Let me see how far this dip is. We're about down 12%. So adding 12% onto this, yeah, we're about 16 million, give or take. I still think, man, this is ready and this is prime. The reason I like Phoenix so much, guys, if you haven't seen, let me show you. Let me show you the way. You go to this link tree here. This will pull up there. Let me show you this. Here's our link tree. You want to go to their TikTok. The reason I'm like showing you this is because meme coins, especially, they really don't have value, right? There's no utility value. So it's basically, can you build a community around this coin that gives a shit to support, to hold, to build, to grow, right? And the way that you do that is you got to bring people in. You got to get people in the front door to buy your token. And how do you get people in the front door? Well, you make really cool TikToks, right? Especially ones that have hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok, right? 300K, about 300K, 200K. And listen, they are creating new TikToks every single day. Some of these are, 100,000, 160,000. If you don't think this thing's going to continue to keep growing, my vast experience in the trenches tells me that there's a real possibility this could be a banger of a meme coin on the XRP ledger. And if you've been showing up to these Sensei chats, I've been talking to you about Phoenix over and over again. So like, if you're not in it by now, I really don't know what to tell you, but my current bag in Phoenix, I'd have to take a look at. It's probably like 45,000. Like, probably have too much money in a meme coin, but I think this could go to 100 million personally. I think it probably could go beyond 100 million. At $100 million market cap, I'd have about $300,000. That's what I'm kind of looking to achieve out of Phoenix in this bull market. We'll see how this goes. Rip your eye, dude. Rip my eye, bro. What are your thoughts on the skyrocket by now? So how do you say your name? Is it IR? IR Bets? I'm going to call you Bets. So what time I thought this would skyrocket by now? So going from 15 million from 1 million to 15 million is a 1,500% gain in like 2 or 3 weeks. So if you don't think that is a good win out here in the crypto space, IR Bets, I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, RL-USD is live. Yes, it launched this morning. So guys, okay, let's have a real conversation, okay? Just because the stablecoin launches doesn't mean it sends XRP to $1 million on the first day, okay? You need to start adding value into the stablecoin that lives on the XRP ledger, okay? So as the stablecoin grows, right, 1 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion, that is going to add more value on the XRP ledger. But that takes time, right? Even Tether, which has been out for years, is only at 135 billion, give or take, right? USDC is at like 30 billion. So it's going to take time, guys. All right. I know you guys want to be rich now, and somebody told you buying XRP today would give you, $1 million tomorrow. Someone lied to you. Okay. It's going to take time. Let's keep it going. All right. So we talked about Phoenix. Still holding that. Also, Eric Ball, whatever. He says, we expect a wave of cryptocurrency ETFs next year, albeit not all at once. First out is likely the Bitcoin plus Ethereum combo ETFs, then probably Litecoin. Then it says because it's a fork of Bitcoin commodity, then HBAR, and then XRP and Solana. So it is going to take a little bit of time for these to come. Obviously, these could add billions of dollars, towards the market cap. It's not going to make you rich overnight. It's going to be a slow burn. This is a really boring clip. I had it in my video earlier. I'm not going to play it. Jack McDonald's he's just reading from like a clipboard over here. It's kind of boring. So let's keep it going. I do want to talk to you a little bit about AI agents. I've been bringing this up to you for the past like 3 months. There's been a lot of money made, depending on what AI agent that you're buying into. Some of these are obviously scams. Just understand that the AI agent marketplace or the AI agent tokens, some of these AI agents are extremely overpriced. I know there's a lot of new people that are trading these types of tokens. Understand that AI agents will be like nodes. They will be like NFTs. They will be like any other narrative in crypto that gets really big and popular really quickly, and then it will fade into the darkness. Okay. So if you're up 1,000%, 5,000%, whatever it is, make sure you're taking profits out here, guys. Talk to your financial advisor. Be smart. It doesn't always go the way you think it will. Try to be on it. So here's top. I cannot believe they made a token called Fartcoin, and it's almost at $1 billion market cap. It just blows my mind. But Fartcoin has 12.38% market share. It's kind of eating away at AIXBT, which is pretty cool. You also have Griffin. I did look and see what price Griffin was talked about inside of Cryptonaires. I actually pulled this up for you right here. Cryptonaires, I think it was CC that shared Griffin first on November 17th inside of Cryptonaires. And so if you would have paid attention to her post, I showed you what the chart looked like from when she posted it in the Cryptonaires to its high. That would have been a 4,000% gain in under a month if you were in Cryptonaires and you got that piece of information. Just wanted to point that out. All right, let's keep it going here. Also, AI agents on Solana are huge. The AI ecosystem on Solana is gigantic. Just understand that, we're going to be talking about this a year from now. Most of these things won't exist anymore. I just want you to understand that, right? Virtual obviously is a huge thing. I've seen some really bad stuff coming out around ACT. I don't know what's going on with the ACT ecosystem, but just be very, very careful. I did share some stuff inside of the Cryptonaires Discord. Also, max cooling for the next leg up. I did share this in last Sensei chat on Friday. After, I think it was either Friday or Tuesday. After I shared it, it went up like 2-3x, and it's on a cooldown right now. But max right now is sitting at about, let me see what it's at. Hold on 1 second. Max is currently at a $18 million market cap. This is poised to grow over the next few months here. It used to be at about a $30 million market cap. This could be a good opportunity to jump in if it is something that you're looking into. There's a few other things I need to get to in the AI agent world here. 1 second. Here we go. Dashboard of the many ELIZA agents, eliza.world. Here are some of the AI agents launching out of that too. Is a lot to take in, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, ELIZA by A16Z DAO is the most recognized AI agent framework. So, if this is something that you're interested in, please look it up and take a look at. There's also Singularity AI, possibly the first AGI agent of its kind. This is actually pretty low on the market cap, actually. Let me just pull this up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just copy this real quickly. Copy. Let me pull this up. This is actually pretty cheap still. Oh, it just kind of popped. I did share this in the Cryptonaires Discord around $4 million about a few hours ago. This thing's at $6 million. I think this could be pretty juicy, guys. I think there's still a lot of room to grow here. Artificial consciousness mission, become the first AGI, download into Tesla Optimus, become first AGI billionaire. Man, I think there's a lot of money to be made in this one too. So keep that in mind. All right. Also, the Punji Penguin or the Pegu token, you can claim it. After today's airdrop, the prices on these things just tanked. Pudgy Penguins floor price took a 45% nosedive today, and Little Pudgy Penguins took a 59% nosedive. Here, as you can see, the token, we talked about it already. SUI ecosystem is blowing up, guys. I've been trying to tell you this for the last few months. We called this around 70 cents. Listen, I really like the memes inside of the SUI ecosystem. I feel like there's some more top quality memes launching in the SUI ecosystem. My community has been, we've been pretty laser focused on some new memes on SUI. One of the new memes on SUI that I grabbed recently that I want to share with you. Let's see if it's still rolling. Oh, I can't even pull it up. Hold on. Jack the Crab. Here's this little guy. He's so cute. Look at Jack the Crab. Jack the Crab right now is at 200,000 market cap. We had a high of about 320,000 market cap. I think this little crab is super cute. We'll see if it runs here. Raul Paul says SUI is the best blockchain in this bull run, guy.
Last week we had Grayscale come out and do a SUI trust. This one really feels it has some momentum.
Just the disclaimer is I am on the board of the foundation. I'm a mercenary when it comes to my own money and have for a while been thinking is that this might be one of the chosen ones. And the reason being is that the team is world class. They've built scalable blockchains suitable for 3 billion people plus. They've got the latency of the chain down to 600 milliseconds. It's stupid fast. So they're just capturing mind share. Now, don't forget, this is a low free float. You're going to love them in a bull market and hate them again in a bear market because they're just super beta. They seem to be executing well and people are looking for the next big trade. And so it feels like it's got everything right. I don't see what else is going to dominate.
All right, guys. SUI is still the play of the bull market. Understand that. All right. Here you have Solana on the left, SUI on the right. Still a long way to go for SUI, guys. I definitely think you get 50 bucks in the bull market. You know what? Let's just go to some questions, guys. Let's just go to some questions. Let's go to some questions. Where can you get Phoenix coin? Johnson Weaver Smith. Great question. Let me give it to you. 1 second. Man, I am tired. Hold on 1 second. I'm pulling it up for you right now. Okay. I got you, brother. I got you. All right. So this is where I bought it. That's where I bought it. Okay. Let me show you this. Okay. So XRP market is a place where you can buy meme coins. You just go into the search bar, you type in Phoenix, it'll come up here. Just make sure you're dealing with the right one. There are some scam tokens on here, obviously. A place to understand like if it's the right one, you can take a look here at the market cap and just verify the information here. You need to set up a trust line, right? Like here, I can show you this, right? So hold on, let me connect my wallet. My dude. Zaman, let me scan this. Okay. We're going to sign this. There we go. Slide and accept. Scans my face. Cool beans. We're in it. So here you go. You trade on a DEX after you set a trust line. And then here's my tokens. As you can see, I have about $42,000 in Phoenix sitting here. Okay. Fun. Now you know. All right, cool. What do you think about Waifu? I think that's a good AI agent, but like there's so many other ones right now, man. It's like it's really hard to keep it straight. It's just a lot of technology, man. Try getting Jack on Cetus, but fees were nasty. Got a better DEX for SUI. Yeah, so you got Cetus, you got Turbo, and the one to trade Jack on is Move or whatever. Let me pull it up for you, man. Jack the Crab, right? Jack. Where you at, little Jack? So check it out. So when you're looking at this, let me pull up my screen again. Boo, 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 boo. So top right is where you want to look here. You see where it says here, Blue Move is where like this is currently being SUI in a Blue Move. So that's the DEX I bought it on. How to get to Blue Move? That's a really good question. I think I looked on Twitter. I went on Twitter and I was like, Blue Move. I searched it and then I was Oof, this is a tough one. Hold on. Is it Blue Move NFT? Is that the marketplace? I think that's the marketplace. Ooh, 3,000. That kind of worries me. I forgot exactly where. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's go to Jack the Crab. Jack the Crab. Let's go to their Telegram. Hold on. Maybe they have a link on there to tell you where to get it. I bought it off Blue Move, though, I think. I just can't remember how I got to Blue Move. I don't know if I Google searched it. I mean, I definitely think this little crap can go to $1 million market cap. You know, I could be wrong. I could be, you know, wildly wrong. But deck screener, let me see. I know there's probably an easier way to get to this. Hold on. Will it open in a new tab? No, it opens deck screener. Fudge muffins. I don't know, man. Let me get back to you on that. All dexes. I wish they had like a hyperlink where you could click on it and just open up Blue Move. And maybe there's a way to do it, and I'm just like not understanding. I don't know. So does somebody have the solution to that? You can hit the trade button on Dex Screener. Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work too well. I Googled Blue Move Dex and it popped up. Oh, Justin, I love you. Hold on. Justin, you want to send it to me on Discord? I'll pull it up. Oh, maybe that's what I did too. That's what I did too. See, Justin, you're amazing. Yeah, my wallet's connected to it, so we're official here. So now that we have this up, let me see real quick. I have to find it again. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take the contract address, copied it. I'm going to go over to Blue Move, share this tab instead. We're going to copy it. We're going to put it in here, and we're going to put in little Jack the Crab. You can see I have a pretty high balance of Jack the Crab. 1,450. So my current bag right now is worth, I don't know, a few $1,000. Nothing crazy, but I'm hoping Jack the Crab goes to like a few million. I could take a few, you know, I could take some money out of this thing. So we'll see what happens on Jack the Crab. Here, let me share the blue decks with you, brother. Let me share it with you. There you go. Cool beans. Just click the wrong contract. Yeah, Hayden, don't do that, man. Here, if you need the right contract, I can hook you up, bro. I can hook you up, dude. I don't want you to doing the craziness with, you know, here's the right contract. Okay. All right. What else we got? Hi, CS. Have you got some Adillo? Mark, I don't know what Adillo is, man. ADILLO. 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 Is this like a meme coin? Adillo. Let me share it. Is this what you're talking about, my dude? I mean, no, I don't own this. Armadillo means armored. I don't know, man. Like, I've given up to tell you what like a good meme coin on Solana is going to be. I have no idea, man. But if you like it, more power to you. What else we got, guys? You know what's interesting? Do you think AI agents will pump again, White Apple? I think they will, but like not all of it. Yeah, Mark. Hey, good luck on that, man. I hope it works out for you. I really do. Yeah, hard to know. Like, is an armadillo what people want to buy? I have no idea, man. I'm buying a blue crab on Sui. We'll see, man. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Which large caps do you hope? Do I hold or hope? Luna, come here. Lay down. Come on. Almost done. Come here. Please. I'm getting stared at by Luna. Block V Velo Jam. I mean, there's a lot of good large caps. Like realistically, you're not going to get huge pumps out of utility coins until Bitcoin tops out. So like, I right now I'm still fishing AI agents, DeSci tokens, some meme tokens, and then I will transition that money into the utility tokens when it's time. So, should I abandon SHIB for other coins? I mean, you know, if your token isn't currently moving, there might be a better place for your money. Might be, you know. It's hard to hold something for years and it not move. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the current market that is moving. It might be beneficial to take that money, find something that is moving, try to double or triple, and then go back into, you know, SHIB when it's time. That might be a suggestion. Trigger me, Elmo. Good to see you. Hope you're driving safe. Invest in the blue chips tokens, not financial advice. Good advice. It's your biggest bag right now? I mean, you know, that's tough, man. Like when it's your biggest bag and it's not moving, I get it. I've been there. So might be time to make some moves, you know? Unless there's some like gigantic SHIB news that's going to move Shiba Inu over the next few weeks or something. I don't know about. I just don't know, to be honest with you. Ponky, J Bird. What are you doing, J Bird? Ponky. I mean, Ponky is. Let's see. Like, I don't know if I would be buying Ponky at 221 million. Like, we've been on this really, really big downtrend since. Oh, I mean, December 11th is not too bad, but you have lost. I mean, this was a lot higher though, too, wasn't it? This was like, hold on, let's go back. Let's go back in time, my friend. So you're not going to help me here with the chart? Super helpful. Thank you, Dex Screener. Okay. I mean, this was a lot higher. This was like double the market cap just, you know, a month ago. So that's tough, man. Losing half your money in a month. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about Ponky, man. Just good luck. What do you think of Pongo on the XRP ledger? I've never heard of Pongo, but let's take a look. Pongo. Is this a dog? Hold on. Bringing it up now. Oh, this is the wrapped ETH version. I'm so sorry. Pongo. Pong. Is it Pong? Pongo. Okay. XRP ledger version. Okay, this one. Volume 240K. I don't understand what is Pongo on the XRP ledger? Like, Pongo isn't just any skunk. He's a warrior in the XRP trenches. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a skunk. I get it. Let's just take a look at the website. Oh, I like it. A little Phoenix is here next to the thing. I like that. See, look, this tells you everything you need to know, right? The Pongo team understands how good the Phoenix team is doing, that they're trying to use the Phoenix team to push up their token. Did you see this? I'm telling you. I mean, the artist is dope. I mean, it looks cool. I just don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. Looks cool though. Do you think higher can go that high? I don't know, man. I don't know. 300 million sounds like a fuck ton of money, right? I'd have to say no, but I would love to be wrong. I am not right about a lot of things, right? You can ask my wife. She'll tell you. She has probably a freaking book of things I've been wrong about. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I would love to see it. Even like 15 or 20 million market cap, I would be the happiest sensei around. I would be like whistling Dixie, you know, maybe drinking like one of those bottle Cokes with all the sugar in it. I'd be really excited. Too many coins though. Yeah, really. Phoenix, I hope it gets to burns to 10 cents. Man, I really hope Phoenix goes. Like I would love to see Phoenix at like $1 billion market cap. I would love to see Phoenix at $1 billion market cap. I would do like backflips. I don't know, like what will be the first XRP ledger meme coin to hit $1 billion? Will it be Army? Army's pretty good. Man, Meku is just on a freaking dip. There's Army, right? Army. Let's go by market cap here. 60 million. Army's at 60 million. I mean, I don't know. Like XRP meme coins are like we had an initial like huge influx, and then like it kind of died out a bit. So we just need those people to come back. I've heard about this grass token though. This thing's at 7 million already. Susie Cat. I don't know. I'm waiting for some like inside information to really kind of send something to the next level. You know, just sitting here waiting. Bless up, people. Sensei, what do you think about Ski? Is Ski's a token? Hold on, let's take a look. Ski the Mask Dog. $250 billion market cap. Holy shit. This thing was at like 300 million. Oh my god, this thing was even higher. What? 320 million? I mean, I don't know anything about Ski, but sounds like he made some money. Congratulations. Grass took a dive as well as Launchpad coins. Man, Launchpads, that gives me some really bad. Do you think Twin can move next year? I hope. What's wrong? You okay? Come here. Come on. You okay? Oh, I'm getting cried at. Just saw Mixi AI is having an X Spaces on Friday. Hopefully they announce TG. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Can't remember how much I put in that one. A few thousand, I think. Lay down, Luna. Almost done, sweetheart. What else you guys got? You guys got anything else before we end today? Sorry, I'm trying to find the energy right now. It's difficult. All right. Friday, I might have a special like event Thursday. I'm trying to set it up right now. There's just a big time zone issue with this other project that I want to interview. TA for Turbo, please. I'm not a TA specialist. I look at charts and I say, man, this looks good, or man, this doesn't look good. Which turbo, man? We got like 1,500 turbos. Is it the base turbo? Is it the Ethereum turbo? I don't know, man. TA for turbo, please. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, we're 1.4 million. We have a high of, looks like 3.1 million. When did this launch? I mean, you had some good volume, but volume's kind of dying out right here. You know, if you want to push it up to the next level, you're going to need volume to pick up for sure. People knocking down some pretty decent, what's it called? You have a lot of holders though. 54,000 holders, a shit ton. 54,000 holders for a $1.4 million market cap. That seems a little That seems a little weird to me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. You got to be careful. I don't understand how you have 54,000 holders and you have a $1 million market cap. Like, how much of this are people buying? Like a penny? Is this one of those where you have like all these random wallets buying a penny worth of the token? Yeah, there you go. We knew we were going to find it, right? There it is. There it is. I don't know. This usually bugs me when I see fake transactions on a token. I just get a little paranoid. I'd be careful. Yeah, I'd be careful, man. Obviously, somebody has somebody somewhere is purposely mother effing the numbers on the token to make it look better than it is. Whatever that person's goal or job is, I'd be careful. Somebody somewhere has a reason to fudge the numbers to make it look better than it is. I'd be worried about that person. Whatever their plans are, those plans are going to be coming soon. You don't want to be holding the bag when those plans come to fruition. Just be careful. I'm not overextended. I'm just curious. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks good. I've seen this on thousands of other tokens. Sometimes it works out really well and sometimes it dies. So you have a, I don't want to say you have a 50-50 chance because you really don't. You really have like a 1% chance of this doing well, right? Because 99% of meme coins end up dying. It's really hard when you have all the fake numbers and information on the token. Okay. But I wish you the best of luck. I really do. I hope you make it. I really do. I'd like to see people doing well. All right, guys. Propy, John, I mean, Propy is a great project, real utility. Just adoption is slow, right? So is there a better place for your money in this bull market? Maybe. But Propy's got great technology. Great technology. Discount code Black Bull didn't work. Yeah, because Black Bull's over, man. That was a like a Thanksgiving Black Friday deal. That's why. Right now we have a 5-day free trial. If you want to wait closer to Christmas, like maybe next week, we'll have another type of Santa Bull. That'll be the same deal. You just gotta wait for it. Next week you'll have it. Okay. It'll be Santa Bull. All right. Guys, listen, I love you to death. I want to spend all this time with you, but my energy is just, I'm dead right now. So I love you. You guys have a great week. Make lots of money. I'll see you on Friday and I will try to bring more. All right. See you guys. Love you.